Hello and welcome to the channel. Have you dreamed about taking a trip to Southeast Asia but were worried about the expense of staying somewhere like Singapore or going to the Philippines or Bali where things might not be the way that you're comfortable? Let us tell you today about Southeast Asia's hidden gem, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia.
We're going to talk to you today about some of the reasons we really like Kuala Lumpur, and we would definitely recommend this as a city for you to check out.
If you're looking to dip your toe into Southeast Asia for the first time, Malaysia is a great starting point for you. It does feel quite a lot like North America in terms of safety and the way they have things set up here.
As well as they speak English, which is a huge one that you're not always going to find.
You can acclimatize yourself a little bit in terms of the food and the culture and getting out and about in a larger center and feel very, very comfortable and quite at home here.
In case you're wanting to come to Southeast Asia, a lot of times you will have to fly into a major center in order to get to somewhere a little bit smaller. So a lot of times your layovers will be in somewhere like a Hong Kong or a Singapore or Beijing. So Kuala Lumpur is another huge international terminal that you could choose as your layover port.
One of the big reasons to fly into Kuala Lumpur is value for the dollar. You will find this to be a lot more economical for a major center to spend a little bit of time. You can get a mid-level hotel here for somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 per night. And it's a great hotel located relatively close to the airport. You will find in a lot of the other centers, Singapore for example, you would be looking in $250 per night range for something of a similar vein.
In the year 2023, Kuala Lumpur had over 22 million visitors come through. The majority of their visitors come from Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, China, and India. So there's not a lot of North American traffic necessarily coming here as a tourist.
In 2024, Kuala Lumpur ranked second behind Singapore as the best outstanding city in Southeast Asia. Also in 2024, it ranked second, once again behind Singapore, as one of the most livable cities to live in Southeast Asia.
The city itself has almost 9 million residents, most of whom speak Malaysian and English.
The population of Kuala Lumpur is made up of 70% Malays, 23% Chinese, and 7% Indian. So you will find a wide variety of cultures here, plenty of languages spoken, and an amazing variety of foods and activities.
What we found compared to other countries in Southeast Asia is there is a lot more English here because Malaysia actually was an English colony up until 1957. So a lot of the English culture is still here. You can get a lot more things that are more English based, and you will also notice that a majority of people do speak English, which we did not find the same case in some other countries in Southeast Asia. So it is a lot more English friendly here. Malaysia is a Muslim nation, and you will see that highly reflected throughout Kuala Lumpur. So you may want to keep in mind, if you want to visit any of the beautiful mosques that are located throughout the city, you will need to have full covering for ladies for your shoulders, your knees, and probably your head as well. And you will notice that a lot of people are wearing full coverings here throughout the cities, in the shopping areas, wherever they are. It's pretty common.
Another nice thing about Kuala Lumpur is it's a very, very clean city. I'm not just talking on the streets, I'm talking air quality. A lot of major centers over in Southeast Asia, there are issues with smog and air pollution, but we have not found in Kuala Lumpur that that is the case here. The air quality is very, very good.
As travelers throughout Southeast Asia, we have found that Kuala Lumpur has felt very safe. There has been no warnings for us of people that are likely to steal my purse or to rob us. There's no warnings of that. Sometimes governments will put out warnings in certain areas. There's no warnings here, and there's definitely not a concern if I want to walk down the street at night. If I happen to have my purse, I'm not clutching at it thinking, dear gosh, I hope I don't fall into the wrong hands. It feels very safe here to walk around, and we were downtown late into the evening last night and we did not feel any concerns about our safety.
Kuala Lumpur is a very, very developed city. It has an amazing infrastructure.
We found that there were a significant amount of overpasses, underpasses, and toll highways. Very clean. So as you're driving, you know exactly where you're going. The lines make sense. It's very easy to navigate. Keep in mind, they do drive on the left-hand side of the road. But other than that, it's very easy to navigate and much more stability in their infrastructure, in their highways, and in their directions than you may find in less developed countries. We noticed that it was much harder for us to try and rent a scooter while we were here in Kuala Lumpur. And when we asked our Grab driver about that, he said it's because of safety protocols. And they put a lot of concern into safety, and they're not apt to just let anyone get on a motorbike with or without a helmet and just take off down a highway at any old speed, because safety is a big issue here. So it's definitely a step up from a lot of the more casual cultures you will find in Southeast Asia.
Because we were certainly able to rent one anytime, anywhere, both in Bali and also in Thailand. There was never a mention of you need to wear a helmet, have insurance, or anything like that. You basically paid your dollars and away you went. There was no lesson, there was no let's go over the bike and how it works. You basically just gave him money and got on the scooter and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a much more modern culture here. They're about safety, and they're concerned about their citizen safety. So you'll see that in the roadways, you'll see that in the walkways, you'll see that in the cleanliness. It's definitely a great step to trying out Southeast Asia without the full gung-ho of some of the major centers that you might see otherwise. Although we haven't done a significant amount of walking in this city, we have noticed that the sidewalks seem very structurally sound, which has not always been the case of a lot of the countries we have visited. The sidewalks seem very clean and wide and free of debris, and they seem to have lights. And this is definitely not the case in cities that we have visited in other countries.
We took a night tour last night of the city, basically one of the big buses that you do the hop-on, hop-off tours. They called it the City of Lights tour.
Something we noticed here in Kuala Lumpur was that they take great pride in their large and very tall infrastructure, and they're very well lit up at night. So it's actually really advantageous to go out at night to look at these buildings, because they will be lit often from top to bottom, or sometimes the top floors have all glitter lights, or there's some really significant lighting on these buildings that you don't see in the daytimes.
If you're a shopper, you're going to love Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur has 3 of the top 10 largest shopping malls in the world. We went to their largest mall and had a little look around. One of the things you'll notice as we went through the mall today was that there are a lot of brands that you would be more than familiar with from home. So if there's something that you maybe feel like you need while you're on your trip and you are worried about being able to come across it, in Kuala Lumpur you'll find pretty much all the same brands that you would have back home. So you'll definitely be able to find what you're looking for.
Yes, this is a shopping mecca. So definitely take a day to include shopping in your time while you're here at Kuala Lumpur.
If you are looking to upgrade your present technology, computer, laptop, phone, or maybe your tablet, then this is a great place to do that. You'll get stuff that you just can't find back home. There is a lot of Chinese technology here that, while we may not know of it, it is something that is around the same par as what you would find from most of the major brands that you can buy in the States.
And you will find some of these tech items for significantly less. So it's worth shopping around while you're here. They're a great tech center. Take a look. If you're thinking of upgrading any of your tech software hardwares, this might be the place. So although Kuala Lumpur might not be quite as advanced as Singapore, it's a really close second on a lot of fronts. So if you're looking for dollar for value, coming in here, your hotels are going to be cheaper, your food is going to be cheaper. Jason and I ate at the mall and we had cooked up meals, not just hamburgers and fries, but served on nice trays at our table, and it was about $5 a meal. Kuala Lumpur is a major metropolitan city. It is not a small player. This is a city of about 9 million people, so it's a very large city, but unlike some of its larger city counterparts in other areas of Southeast Asia, it is clean, it is safe, it has good infrastructure, and they speak English.